Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Motorsport's newest podcast from the Banking. In this episode, we'll be talking about the different disciplines when marshalling at a track event, from off-track roles like paddock assembly, grade one. You can also do grade one on track, which would be like race marshals, flag marshals, post chiefs, all that kind of stuff. We'll be talking about that, mixed in with some of the favourite incidents we've dealt with as marshals.
Welcome to the UK's newest Motorsport podcast. You're listening to From the Banking with me, that Marshal fella, Amber in Orange, and the Cadet Marshal. If you're looking to see what goes on behind the scenes at UK Motorsport, this is the place to be. Let's go racing!
As always, I've got my two co-hosts to keep me in check. We have Amber in Orange and the Cadet Marshal.
Hi guys.
Hello.
And today we have a very special guest in the form of Track Marshal Chris, who marshals with us at Knockhill and with Amber at different events. Hi Chris, how you doing?
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. You have a good Christmas and New Year?
Yeah, it was good, thank you. It was good. No, very chill, very chill.
Nice one. So firstly, guys, you all well?
Yeah.
Hi. Had a quiet Christmas, had a long and very alcohol-fueled New Year, but...
Do you remember much of it?
The fact that I'm hesitating tells you no.
The silence speaks volumes.
Exactly.
Aaron, how was your Christmas and New Year? Obviously not alcohol filled, but
Yes.
We hope.
I'm not like that's a lot of people my age, but very hot chocolate filled. I got a hot chocolate maker for Christmas, which I can get any chocolate bar and like grate it up and make my own hot chocolate, and it's just brilliant. No complaints, but yeah,
Nice.
That sounds quality. I want
it
more.
is
yeah.
brilliant.
do you do the whole thing with squirty cream and marshmallows and all that kind of stuff?
That's a good idea actually. I haven't thought of doing that, but now you mentioned it, good idea. Might put in some marshmallows with cream and all that.
Marshmallows is definitely the move. Whipped cream, not so much.
Nah.
Oh, what's good?
What are you, like a thick kind of chocolate man, or are you a kind of watery chocolate man? I know there's different types.
I'll be honest. I just drink whatever comes out of the mug. I'll be honest. Not be fussed.
Nice
Fair
one.
enough.
Nice one. And you had a good time, Chris?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was good. It was nice to go home and see my family. And
Nice one. Well, we might as well get onto the topic of what we're talking about today. So we're going to be talking about the different disciplines within race. So specifically, I've mentioned race because there is different ones with rallies and all that kind of stuff. So it is particular race. So we'll start, and please don't take this the wrong way, Aaron, but we're going to start at the bottom. If you could let us into the world of the paddock and assembly.
Most of what I know is assembly because I've only done paddock for one day, which was touring car Sunday, which is safe to say a bit chaotic. But
What a day for doing that, eh?
that like, if there's any day to be doing paddock, that's probably the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad. When I positioned myself, I could see just between the podium and the circuit office to see the TV screen, so I was able to watch all the racing stuff. Behind the first race of the day was the mini challenge. I think it's mini challenge. And I sport this guy Nathan Edwards in it, who's a great driver, and I'm getting cars through and all that, and I just look up and I see him in the wall with the chicane, and I'm still like, no. Right, and then back then, living with the sadness that he's in the wall, and you got to deal with that for the rest of the day. It wasn't a fun day for me that Sunday with my drivers. Yeah.
So in paddock, then it is quite a simple job, isn't it? You're kind of directing traffic and making sure the cars come down on time. But is it assembly that actually go over the microphone to the paddock and say, could these drivers please come to assembly and that kind of stuff? Is it used to do that?
It depends on the meeting, really. If we talk about our club meetings with the SMRC and all that, it'll be just assembly that will go over the tannoy and go, it's assembly now, hurry up. If it's the touring cars, not most of the time, they do their own thing. They've got championship coordinators, obviously, who will sort them out coming down, as far as I'm aware. I'm not sure exactly what happens, but I know they just sort it all. When I was in the paddock, my job there was basically just make sure, people aren't getting hit by cars, because it's not really ideal, is it? And to make sure when the cars come down, they're in the right order. because there was one or two where there'll be a car in front of one where it's not meant to be for the grids, and you've got to quickly you come in and let that one through and then go sort them out. But overall, panic's pretty simple. Just make sure nobody gets run over. Assembly, on the other hand, can be a bit more complicated. Depends on the series, really. Like you'll get the smaller series. I don't mean smaller series, but series with less cars in them, like the C1s and that, where it'll be only like I don't know how many cars in C1s, but not like the Legends fields. It's like 30 odd. So you can get them in pretty easily. It's pretty spaced out. Legends is not fun to grid. I won't say not fun actually. It's fun, but quite busy, quite hectic.
It's usually quite a large grid for the Legends, isn't it? You're talking 20, 30 cars.
Oh, I think Legends are about 32.
Is it 32?
So
yeah,
something like that.
But yeah, it's a lot going on. Most of the
Is
time,
that purely? Sorry to interrupt. Is that purely just because of how many cars there are, or is there like other factors to that?
how many cars there are, what we're doing, and you'll get like the first call, you get a few of them down, second call, you get a few of them down, and then the third call, they all just majestically appear, like 20 of them all at once, coming down to assembly, and it's just chaos. You get grid in one end, and then there's four of us coming down, and it's right, okay. Well, I've got to figure out who I'm taking, who I'm getting where, and yeah, most of the time we've got something for it. Like we'll have sometimes it'll be one of us per lane on where we're parking them, or something. Well, depends. But yeah, we get it all sorted. Pretty clean incidents. Yeah.
You must have had some pretty interesting things happened up in assembly, though.
Assembly, I've had two things happen, really. I had one where I think it was Legends we were getting in on the Saturday of the October meet, I want to say. And oh no, it wasn't Legends, it was touring car meet. And this car's coming in, and we need to get one up against the fence. And this car's coming down, and I notice that there's one in the wrong place, and we'd had a signal for that weekend in case it got a bit chaotic, where we'd go like that at the bottom assembly or whatever, and it would just stop, so we could sort everything out. So there's a car that had someone ended up in the wrong place, and there's a bike, just a random pedal bike that just appeared in the assembly area. And I don't know how it got there. I don't know when it got there. I don't know how it got there, but it was a pedal bike in assembly for some reason. So we had to get that gone. All that. We've had one small incident with the Legends, non-surprisingly, where a Legends car trying to reverse it and accidentally made contact with a car. But otherwise, it's all pretty clean there. We'll get it done pretty smoothly, and yeah, the team's good.
Nice one. I mean, it does go to show that the younger marshals that come in, like cadets like yourself, the only place you can really go is in assembly. But it's not just standing about being boring. There's things to do the whole day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether it's gridding the cars, doing the noise checks. I've not actually done them before, but when they come into assembly, they get checked, I think, for the noise regulations or something like that. And it could be like running up to race control, getting grids. There's always something to be doing, especially with touring cars as well, with a paddock, very hectic.
Mm-hmm.
It was only a couple of times I was able to stand about for like 5 minutes, get a bit of racing, and then get.
I'm probably betting that your bicycle that you found was maybe it wasn't the driver that brought the car down because the driver was late. It was probably the driver that came down on the bike.
Yeah, seems.
Do you have anything to do with scrutineering or anything? Do the scrutineering intertwine with yous, or is that done completely separate?
Scrutineering is sort of on the side, really. I mean, they're there. Oh, right, that's actually a good point. I'm pretty sure it's scrutineering will come down into the assembly area occasionally and go look at just random cars or whatever cars they're looking for and have a look at them for something. Or there's the timekeepers as well. They also are in assembly, checking all the transponders working in this. And otherwise, can't think of anybody else who'd be in assembly. Sometimes Alan just randomly appears there. But
yeah, I know what you're saying about scrutineering and checking the cars, because that takes us brilliantly on to the next option, next section, which would be your grade 1 race marshals. Because if we see anything on the track as the cars are going round, me being a flag marshal or a track marshal or whatever, we'll read it into race control, who then get in contact with scrutineering, who will then
come into assembly or wherever it is they need to go to check what it is. But yeah, that leads us brilliantly onto track marshalling.
You have no idea how much I just want to go back. Like,
Oh yeah.
We've only got a couple of weeks till the training day anyway.
I know, and so then like it's another 2 months until the first meeting in April, which is too long.
I know. Could you, Amber, then talk us through kind of like your day from getting into the marshal's hut in the morning to nighttime? What's involved in being an incident marshal?
Well, depending on the meeting, there's either a lot of standing about or there's a lot of work to be done. We'll get in on first thing in the morning. We'll have a wee chit chat, have a blether, get some coffee, get briefed that, get slagged off probably, and then we'll get our post allocation. Well, nine times out of 10, we'll get our post allocations a couple of days beforehand, so we know what the plan is. So we know what the plan is. We know where we're going. We know what we're going to be doing. The only exception to that is touring cars, where we turn up on the day and get our post allocations on the day. I don't know the reason why, but
there is a reason. Would you like to know the reason?
Go for it, Amber. Go for it.
So this is supposedly, I don't know if this is true or not, covering my own arse here. It's apparently when they used to give out post allocations a couple of days beforehand for the likes of the British Touring Car Championships and such, people who were on a quote-unquote bad post, like 7, 8, something like that, they notoriously awful posts and not kill, they just wouldn't turn up. So we didn't have enough marshals to, cover around the whole circuit and basically ensure that we were running the meeting safely. And a lot of the times, I think one of the film marshals will be able to tell you this, but one year apparently we had no one at post 10. So post 1 and post 9 kind of had to merge together whenever something happened there. So it's because people saw their post they were on, they're like, that one's no, I don't want that one.
Not very good.
Yes. I stopped myself. We're past the 84-second mark.
You also trying to save John some editing work here.
No. But because people were assigned a terrible post, they went, nah, don't fancy it, weren't turning up. Supposedly. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what I've been told.
I mean, for Formula One and Formula E, I'm assuming Formula E is the same as Formula One. You'll get your allocation sometimes maybe a week, 2 weeks in advance because there's a lot of prep. Was it?
No.
No.
Oh
no. For Silverstone this year,
we got ours on the Friday.
Right.
So the Formula E weekend is Friday to Sunday, at least for London anyway. For the London final, it's Friday. Like we turn up on the Thursday, we get all set up, we get our what's the word, sort of lanyard with a pass and all that. Yeah. We get all that on Thursday, and then on the Friday morning we have our briefing and some like sort of safety trainings and all that, recovery training, whatever. And then it's during all of that you get your post allocations for the weekend.
Right. Okay. But with Formula One, it was a case of we got them maybe 2-3 weeks in advance through an app. But I dare say Formula One's one of those where people are always going to turn up because of what it is.
Yeah.
And
Formula E will be the same.
True.
All these sort of, if you want to call them premier events, all these world championship events.
Yeah.
Because they have that level of prestige, if you want to call it that. People have also been like traveling and camping and putting loads and loads of time even before the weekend even starts. So like to go through all that just to not go on post and not do anything the whole weekend just seems like a waste of time.
Who is it does I know it's an FIA thing, but who is it? Is it UK Motorsport UK that do the aficionados of it? Like Formula One, it's still Motorsport UK that do the marshals
MSVR.
and stuff.
It's MSVR.
Right, okay. So it must be different bodies then do it slightly differently. Like I say, it's Motorsport UK with Formula One. So you get it a couple of weeks in advance. I mean, there was people there that had T-shirts already made up, like orange T-shirts, and they'd already had them printed with their post and all that, with Formula 1 75. I seen some with
That's
pit lane
such a
marshal
good
and
idea.
stuff. Aye. But it's because they knew in advance where they were going to be. They had time to get them done. But aye, because they got it in such advance, they had time to get all that stuff made. So see, when you get onto post, is there any particular jobs that you need to do when you get onto post first thing?
Well, it depends what your role is. So
If we take out flag marshal, IO, and post chief and stuff, just incident marshal. You get onto post.
Marshal. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so what I tend to do, depending one depends on your post, two it depends on your role, blah blah blah. But let's try and generalize it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there at Knock Hill we have, well, you guys all know that we have the marshal huts. We have like these little buildings on each post. Not every circuit has those. I remember when I went to Croft, I was at post 6, and there's like a garden shed that has all the stuff in it, and then there's no sort of shelter. You're just standing like in the sort of the gap in the barriers. That's your marshal post.
Yeah.
But Knock Hill, we're quite fortunate to have like a dedicated, even though it's a small building, don't get me wrong, but it's big enough to fit the whole team should the weather require it, which it usually does. But so in the hut, you're going to have all your all of the equipment that you need to run a session.
Yeah.
You know, you've got your fire extinguishers, you've got your fire extinguishers, you've got your brushes, you've got your rakes, you've got your cement dust, your detergent, your hazard board. The flags and safety cardboard and all that stuff gets brought down from.
We bring it down from the marshal's hut usually, but not Kelly anyway.
Yeah.
Again, different circuits have different ideas on it, but I'll get onto that in a wee minute about the flag one.
Mm-hmm.
But use
Formula E.
I'm
sorry.
No, go on, but fire in.
At Formula E, the flags, the safety cardboard, well, we didn't use safety cardboards, but all of the light panels, everything was already on post ready, waiting for us, unless you brought your own flags, which is fair enough. But everything was just sat waiting for you, basically.
Well, the FIA is really iffy about bringing your own flags, but some people just do it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Aye. And when the cars are going around, what are you particularly looking for? I know, obviously, you're looking for big shunts and stuff, but is there anything like, are you looking at cars for things hanging off and leaking coolant and stuff, or is that really down to the IO? Is it?
Yeah, things like that. So, you can look at the cars if there's, like, say you're watching, I don't know, like a Fiesta race, or like the Motorsports Championship at Knock Hill. If you're watching that, they're quite notorious for blowing up. So what you want to be looking for smoke coming out of the exhaust or from any other part of the car. You want to be looking for loose bodywork like exhausts or bumpers or wheel arches, just things that are hanging off. And then if there's contacts, be it minor or major, it still needs reported because it's a non-contact sport officially. Don't tell the touring car drivers that though, because that will just ruin the fun.
What was it? What was the old saying? Used to be rubbing is racing.
Rubbing is racing.
Exactly.
Unless you're driving a Formula car.
Yes, some post chiefs. I know there's one specifically who agrees with rubbing is racing, and he doesn't report it when certain cars are side by side contact or the rubbing, even though he probably should. So again, on that side of things, it's a sort of, I guess it's your post chief's judgment. It's your opinion, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Rather than fact.
Mm-hmm.
There is these magical people called Judge of Fact, which I don't want to delve into because it confuses me. It scares me.
The Judge of Fact is usually for track limits, though, is it not?
Usually, not Knock Hill,
typically.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point, John. You've done post chiefing before, right?
Yes.
So, what's your standpoint on contact between cars? Like, at what point would you call it in? And at what point? Where's the line? Where's the line between rubbing is racing and I need to report this?
The line for me is probably and again, it's a personal thing, is if it looks deliberate. So if they're, for talking sake, they're coming up from chicane up towards Clark's, and they're basically just vying for a little bit of space, and maybe a wee tap here and a wee tap there. But if they get up to Clark's and they're about to turn, and it looks like the car on the inside just basically just shoves that guy off, to me, that's excessive. But if they're just coming up, say, from chicane up to Clark's, if they're just vying for a little bit of space, as long as nobody's making major moves to push somebody onto the grass or that kind of stuff, that's the way I see it. But like you said before, it also depends on the series that you're in. Because when I was at Formula One, so I'm just going off on a wee tangent here, we were told we do not wave blue flags. It's all done by GPS. If somebody, I was at, where was I this year? I was at Chapel, and we were told if somebody goes off, you do not wave a yellow flag unless they have physically stopped and it looks like they're not going to move. I think there was an incident with somebody this year where the yellow flag was thrown too quickly, and he literally just went off and kept going, but they waved the yellow flag anyway.
They do that at Formula E as well. Yeah. I have a funny story about that. I'll get onto it in a minute.
So would you put out a white flag then, rather than anything else, or do you just ignore it effectively?
As in for the incident I just talked about with the yellow flag situation.
Yeah.
We try and use, in Formula One, we were trying to use the 10-second rule to start with. Also, there's a lot of factors. Is it on the racing line? Is he skidded off the racing line? Is it an immediate threat to anybody else? Is there maybe something on the track that's caused him to go? And then if there is, there'll be a yellow. Again, if he gets moving within 5 to 10 seconds, fair enough. Somebody just coming off and cutting a corner and bouncing over the curb and stuff, no, not a chance.
Okay.
Hopefully that clears it up.
Clear as mud, John.
The problem we had at Formula One was where I was. It was you probably remember this year when Oscar was behind the safety car, and they said he brake checked Verstappen right at our post. The problem was we also had a massive screen across from our post that we were watching because it takes so long for them to come in the track, and we went, "Oh, that looks thing! Oh, it's there."
That sounds like something that I would do. Assuming that I get in this year, which please. Right. So my Formula E story is I have two. I have one from my perspective, and I have one not from my perspective, but I think it's quite funny. The one that happened to me is about it's similar to what you had, John, with the yellow flags. So should I, shouldn't I? On the London Formula E circuit, there's a double chicane. So you're coming down a straight, it goes right, left, right, and then you carry on. So that's where myself, Amber, and all of our English marshal pals were. We were all based in the same area, which is quite convenient. But so going into the second half of the chicane, Sam Bird in his McLaren spun and was facing the wrong way. So you put out a yellow flag for that, right? Because the car is one, stationary, and two, facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
The race control comes on the radio and says, "Control to post 11. Why do you have a yellow flag?" And then Kirk, my post chief, said the car is facing the wrong way and stationary. And then there was a long silence on the radio, followed by okay, fair enough. And these are the same people that have all the camera angles and all the transponders and all of this technological, all these technological advancements that can tell you everything that's going on, and they still have to ask us, why have you got a yellow flag out?
Explain
that one.
But these are also the same people that are sitting in race control that let marshals onto a track while cars are still racing. Was it Vegas there?
Yes.
Yeah,
and a couple more.
They have the exact opposite approach at Formula E, apparently. Because they're under no circumstance are you allowed to go on track without permission. Mm-hmm. Even if it's if there's something right up against your barrier, you can just reach over with your hand. You just reach over with your hand, grab it. No, can't do that.
Like, even when the track is what we call cold, as in nothing's going on, you have to radio into race control, or your PC has to go, I've got a couple of marshals that would like to go across the track to go to the toilet. Is that okay? And
the answer's usually no as well. So yeah, I think you've done enough slagging off of the FIA. Can we move on?
Yeah.
So
no, slagging off the FIA is the best thing.
Just in case we all get banned from F1 for the foreseeable future. Because I'd quite like to get accepted. Thank you.
The good thing is, it's
banned
not
from Silverstone.
The good thing is, it's not the FIA that choose who the marshals are. It's Motorsport UK.
Exactly.
No, but someone from the FIA might see this and recognise this at the briefing, and then they're going to be like, "No, I don't really like you. You're not very nice."
Well, you failed to remember we're also going to Zandvoort, and their marshals are done by a completely separate organisation. So,
yeah.
Did you? Good.
Have you still there though?
You had word back about Zandvoort yet?
No, it closes in April, so we've got a bit of time to wait.
Cool.
Yeah, because Zandvoort's on the calendar. Zandvoort's after Silverstone,
right?
I think. So, we'll probably hear about Silverstone first, and then we'll hear about Zandvoort probably soonish after that.
Mm-hmm. I've been talking with I don't know if you follow her on TikTok. I think she's a Danish lady. I think she's from.
Yes.
Oh, is that the woman that's just known as? Is she just known as Motorsport Marshal?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So I DM'd her. I DM'd her the other day there. I DM'd her about, because she's obviously been everywhere all over the world. So she sent me a lot of contacts and emails addresses for different countries and stuff now. So that's something I can share with you as well when I see you, for things like Abu Dhabi, the new Madrid one next year, all that kind of stuff. She's gave me all the information for that.
See, I've heard rumours that Madrid isn't going to be finished in time, and they're putting Imola back on as a replacement.
Oh, hell yeah.
Possibly could do.
Hell yeah. I don't know where you heard this, but that's great news, because Imola's great, just not for F1. Like we went, myself and Amber went to Imola last year, just on a whim, and they had a regional GT championship going on there, and it was sick.
Oh,
yeah.
Really fun.
I saw that race, because they had I want to say they had a very big crash at turn 3, which got red flagged the race.
Yes,
possibly, yeah. We were sat at the start finish, and they had a big old pile up at the start of one of the GT races, and there was like I've got a recording of this this guy getting out of his Lamborghini and being really Italian about it. He's like, "Oh no, I crashed the car."
It's so funny. But we were at that day. It was like a club meeting, effectively, and we were allowed in.
It was like the Italian version of British GT, and because they had all the support series. They had the Italian F4 support series.
Yeah. But anyway, it was free entry.
Freddie Slater.
It was free entry.
Somebody get me on a plane to Imola, man, because that sounds brilliant.
We just because like the circuit's just at the south end of town. You just walk across, like you have to walk across this little footbridge, like pedestrian bridge, across a little stream, and then you're just at the circuit, and you can just waltz into the paddock, because it's just there. It's just there.
A little bit.
The level.
I was going to say, it sounds a little bit like the F1 movie where Brad Pitt just saunters into the pit lane at Silverstone.
That's exactly what it's like. The level of access you get when like the FIA is not in town. It's unbelievable. Like we got to go into the pit garages. We got to go into the pit lane.
Wow.
Just not like while the session was live, for the record.
No, of course not. But it was during the sort of lunch break, where like it wasn't particularly busy there in terms of like spectators, but like
no.
The level of access you could get away with. Like, I don't know if I was breaking any. I don't know if I was breaking any rules, but nobody said that I couldn't.
Yeah.
I did ask in very broken Italian, "Am I allowed to do this?" And nobody said no. So.
Did you have your marshal's license in your neck or anything?
No,
You-
but
No.
I was wearing my SMRC Marshall shirt on the day.
Right.
I wasn't
Which,
either, but
oh my
we
god,
both
there's
had.
we got a great photo with so just past the pit exit, there's a little sort of it's kind of like Imola's version of the Paddock Bray Gate.
Mm.
Where like it's a gate that goes from the circuit straight to the paddock. And behind that was the safety car, which was a Lamborghini Urus. I said like the safety car driver was there, and then there was another Italian marshal there, and I was like, I showed my shirt, and then I showed him some of the photos from Flight Photography. I basically said like, hey, so like, you're a marshal and I'm a marshal, and we're basically best friends. So we got a photo of us, myself, Amber, the safety car driver, and the other Italian marshal next to the Lamborghini Urus safety car. Emily, it was sick.
Brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. So would you say, have you and Amber got a favourite incident of all time then that you've either dealt with yourself or an interest
I made
in
a
it?
list, John.
Go on then, go for it.
Yeah, Amber's got a lot more than me because like she's known as the magnet for a reason.
Oh, do
Yeah.
you eat pork pies all the time, Amber? It seems to be every time somebody eats a pork pie, there's a crash.
Yeah.
I've stopped eating pork pies recently, and this still keeps happening.
Yeah, it hasn't helped you. You've eaten so much, you've built up a backlog, and you're still trying to make up for it.
Clearly. So I will start off with some of the most recent ones, the ones that happened at the last meeting in Not Killed.
Mm-hmm.
The funniest one was probably we had a guest series. It was the Irish Global GT Lights, I believe it was called.
Sound, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tiny little radical things. And I was at post 4, the chicane, and because this radical was so low down to the ground, it basically came out the chicane. I don't know how he did it, but he took the chicane wrong, ended up in the gravel trap. As he entered the gravel trap, spat all of his bodywork off into the gravel. That's not the funny part. Funny part is I was across the spectator side of post 4, and so he'd crashed in that sort of gravel trap by the spectator side, and so I ran over to it as the first on scene, and I don't remember how this happened, but 1 minute I was standing up running to this incident, next minute I was down on the ground just facing the grass, and I'm like, what? I'm like, how did I what? So I got up, just completely did not know how I got from standing up to lying down on the grass, but got up, continued, and by the time I got there, the driver was out, had his helmet off, was actually picking up bits of his bodywork, and I'm like, I shouldn't have bothered. That was probably the funniest one. Then we also had the lovely Liam Kelso, friend of the show. Hi, Liam. He somehow managed to crash his C1.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, same sort of story as the Radical GT Lights. He took it way too hot going into the chicane, ended up taking way too much speed into the gravel trap, and bumped against the fracture cell, which, would have been fine, but no, C1. So, of course, it flipped up onto its nose, jumped on top of the barrier, and ended up, the rear wheels actually smacked the spectator fencing and apparently left a dent, which I didn't see, and then just kind of slid back down and ended up nose down in the gravel. And so I'm like, so I just bolt over there, didn't fall over this time, bolt over there, and Liam crawled out by himself. He was all good. I made a joke being like, really? Last race of the season and you do that? Because this was like the practice session or the paid practice session.
Yeah.
So this was like 5 minutes into the start of the day.
Yeah.
I will tell you.
First session, basically first lap. No offense, Liam, but come on, man. 5 minutes.
It was 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes. Our deputy chief marshal told me it was 3.5 minutes.
In assembly, we when this incident happened because we got the red flag out and somebody got a photo of it, like very zoomed in of the car being up like that on the chicane. And
Yep.
we're all wondering what's happened. But I remember, like, not even like 10 minutes beforehand, I was talking to him because he came in. I was like, "You're on TikTok, aren't you?" It's like, "Yeah, well, good luck, mate. Wished him good luck." And then the second he's gone out, he's crashed. And I had a massive one.
So
I'm
it's
like,
your fault.
So it's your fault.
It's
I'm
your
like,
fault.
thanks for giving him good luck. What have I done? This is my fault. um,
But
but yeah, no, it's very scary crash. But I don't know how
oh
else to
yeah.
pull out of it. But fair play to him. I
Um
remember the car being there. Because
yeah.
there's a fence between the entrance of scrutineering and assembly. So it doesn't have to go on assembly, and there's people in there. You can just like peek over the fence and talk to folk. So I remember the car was there, and you could see like the damage on it. 'Cause he smashed like the back window, and everything was like destroyed. The roof's properly battered up as well.
Yeah.
He just stood there, just looking at it. And it's like I don't know what he said, but I started talking to him about it. Just not. I'm not surprised he wasn't happy, but would
I
have thought he'd
think
be in the medical center. But no, he just started looking at the car, and
I
I
think
don't know.
because of the wheelbase and the height of these C1s,
Yeah.
if they go off just the wrong way, they just like rolling
Yeah.
Yeah,
or going up the way.
I don't know if like I don't know if it's because they're kind of top like because they're basically like a rectangle. It's like a
Yeah.
rectangle with wheels, so they're
Mm.
quite. I don't know if it's because they're top heavy or if they're just not very balanced.
Mm.
But they roll all the time.
yeah,
That's probably like if we're sort of talking about my incident, that's probably my one as well. This is 2023. My taster day. The first ever like so yeah, my first ever time being on a post. I was at post 3. I was I think it might have been the last race of the day. With some C1s. They were coming like there was 4 or 5 of them at the back of the field. The live stream of this race is still on YouTube, by the way, so you could watch it. So there's a few 3 or 4 C1s going sort of side by side down Duff Step, which is already not a great sign. And then when they're coming round McIntyre's, one of them loses the back end and then hits into the other one, and then the other one gets sent barrel rolling. And seeing someone like that on your taster day, like your first ever day as a marshal, and seeing that happen, it sticks with you.
It'll either make you love the sport or make you run 10 million miles away.
Mm. I mean, we had an incident. It was a long, long, long time ago now. I can't remember the exact year, to be fair, but you'll have heard the stories about it. It was a British Formula Ford, I believe, when we had the Formula Fords up at Knockhill, and it had come out of Clark's down by railway, and it was full pelt down towards the hairpin, and the brakes failed.
Is this a certain Ashley Sutton we're talking about?
oh,
Well,
right,
I'm not sure who the driver was, but the Formula Ford ended up going through the recticel, through the tyre barrier, and it actually bent the big metal catch fencing thing back like that.
That sounds like Ashley Sutton
Mm,
hmm
that was a lot. I
because
can't remember the
the
exact year and stuff, but it stays in my mind that one because it was a very somber day after that, I must admit.
I think I don't know if that was him, but he had an accident similar to that in the same place.
Right.
And I remember it was one of the fellow marshals told us this. And he was fine, the car was fine, but as soon as the marshals got to him, he was screaming and shouting. And as soon as we got to them, we were like, what's wrong? What's got like assuming he needed medical help or something. And the only words he could get out was, take the seatbelt off. So the marshal we were talking to reached in, pulled the seatbelt off, and then he just went, oh. He went, thank you for that. They were crushing my balls. He was completely fine apart from that.
Aye.
Okay,
Technically,
I've got it.
here's a question then. Technically, should have that marshal done that?
Um,
Officially, no.
But the guy's in the car and he's moving his arms and he's moving his head about. He's obviously not got a neck injury.
yeah.
Yeah. Right, I found it. It was 2014. Ashley Sutton in a Formula Ford going straight on into the hairpin.
Yeah,
There you go.
So I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, John, but
yeah,
it's
it
at
will
least
be.
something similar.
It will be because it wasn't. It wasn't long after I started, and I think it was 2011 I started marshalling. I'm trying. I was on the other side of the circuit, so I didn't know what was happening. It was just
Mhm.
all over the radio, and basically the rest of the day was more or less stopped after that. Basically because the catch fencing was damaged. The tire wall needed redone, and the recticells were completely more. He was trapped underneath it for a long time. It was quite a long extraction, if I remember rightly. I know,
I mean,
but on the in the incident part of things as well, one of the most funniest things. It was before I started marshalling. I think it was in 2010. And the Porsches, one of the Porsches that came down Duffus, came around McIntyre's and went off on the grassy bit, just at the spectator side of chicane. But it started. The guy belted the wheels and it started to roll back down. And all I can remember, I was sitting at the side taking photographs, and all I can remember is our now esteemed Deputy Chief Marshal running down the
Good
grassy
shit.
banking, slipping a little bit. I'm not going to go into full details, but he slipped a little bit. And then he's in the back of this Porsche trying to push it up the hill with about three other marshals, and the wheels were, it was just so hilarious. It was like something out of a Charlie Chaplin film.
He thought it was a good idea to push a rather heavy race car up a hill.
Yeah, I know.
Was that the incident where our lovely esteemed Deputy Chief Marshal broke his collarbone?
Possibly could have been the same incident, yeah.
how have I not heard
I
of
remember him.
this?
I actually, if
Oh,
I remember
No,
rightly,
no, 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 no. You have to bring him on. You have to bring him on and get him to explain it himself because it's even more funny.
that
oh
sounds
yeah.
like a plan.
Oh yeah.
And
I
what I
will
will do
make it
is
happen.
I will dig it out
Lewis, if you're listening, you know what you need to do.
because what I've also got is I was at the side. I wasn't marshalling at this point. I was standing watching this touring car weekend, and I will dig out the video of it if you like because it happened right in front of me.
Yes,
I need
please.
to.
I need
It is
blackmail
somewhere.
material. Love you, Lewis.
Yeah, on the topic of incidents, I've got a couple I could talk about.
Go for it.
Obviously, Paddock Assembly, I've only had one funny thing, but I'll talk about that after I talk about the actual like crashes we've had. So I remember my first ever race event I went to at Knock Hill was the British Touring Car Championship in 2024, and I'd never seen touring car race beforehand. I tried to get into it before I went, but I'd never seen a race. I was going completely blind, didn't know who to support, and I was supporting Ronan Pearson before he probably got sacked the race after. Or ran out of funds, I'm not sure. One or the other, but Ronan, come back, please.
Well, you
Yeah.
just put him off for coming on our podcast. Thanks.
I would love a Ronan Pearson back in touring cars.
I
Yeah.
mean, yes, but
But yeah, I was watching a British F4 race and race had started. It was on a Saturday, so there was no coverage on it. And they're coming towards turn one, and I'm stood at the catch fence watching the race start, and my mum's sat on this bench talking to this woman. Um, and no one told me later that it was one of the driver's mums, Ella Lloyd's mum, actually. So she raced in F1 Academy now, and all this. At the time, she was just British F4. And she talked to my mum and all this, and Ella Lloyd's mum tells my mum her car number as Ella Lloyd promptly slides into the gravel trap and starts barrel rolling, um, which was quite terrifying to say the least. Because I remember turning around to my mum with my hand on the head, just like, "What on earth have I just witnessed?" You know. um, as far as I'm aware, Ella was fine. Pretty sure she raced the next day, and I think she got a podium. I think it was. So good comeback, but quite a terrifying crash. Um,
You ever had anything went on fire in the assembly?
good question.
Not in front of my own eyes. My mum tells me though that once scrutineering just lit out a car that was on fire. Which,
Does your mum marshal?
huh? Yeah, my
Does
mum
your
offers as well. She's in assembly.
Who's
But
your mum?
Yeah, who's your
Sarah,
mother?
Sorry,
Sarah.
Sarah. She needs to be a
Um,
guest on the podcast.
I'll talk, that's what I can do.
We'll have an assembly exclusive episode.
Yeah, all the dirty
But
secrets that
yeah,
happen in assembly.
probably the funniest thing that's happened while I've been marshalling was again touring cars, because everything happens at the touring cars, it seems. Uh,
It's the best
we
weekend for a reason.
yeah, we had just had, I think, I don't know what race it was, either race one or race two had just finished, and there were Porsches going down. Again, don't know what series it was. There were Porsche Sprint or Porsche Carrera, one or the other, and they were coming down towards assembly, and I've got basically the whole day. I'm just been shouting at people, like, keep to the sides, please, keep to the sides, thank you. I just repeated it like all day. That's all we're shouting. To the point where there was a Goodyear truck off to the left of where I was stood in the paddock. I was shouting it so much that they started taking a mick out of me whenever I started shouting it, which was quite funny to be fair. So it'd be I'd shout, keep to the sides, please, keep to the sides. You just hear some random bloke from Goodyear go, keep to the sides to the side of me.
That's a question I've got for you, Aaron, actually. Just being as young as you are, right?
Mhm.
Being a cadet marshal up in the paddock and stuff, do you think you get the respect from the spectators when you're trying to tell them to move it the way because you're young? Do you think the overalls give you the respect, or just
I mean,
do you know what I mean?
at the time, I hadn't had my overalls. I think by the time people would move to the side to turn around and realize it was a kid shouting at them, they were already at the side of the paddock. So it was all right. I mean, the community for motorsport's pretty good for not giving anybody grief. So nobody gave me grief for it the whole weekend. They were just staying when I meant to. Apart from Tom Ingram, but no, not really against Tom Ingram. But I'll get onto that now. We just had
What
the
did what
touring
did
car
he
race.
what did he do?
How did he
We
piss
just had
you
a load of
off?
touring car races,
What did
didn't
he do?
it? And we had the podium. So my situation is I've got people in the paddock, which has been split to the side, and there's Porsches coming through the middle of these guys. And off to my right hand side is just the touring car podium. Way too many people down there for that. And I can't mind if Tom won the race. I think he was on the podium because I think it was Senna Proctor moved aside to give him the podium. And he's got his trophy, takes some photos of fans and all this, and his tent or whatever you want to call it, where his crew were on the other side of where the Porsches were coming in. So just next door, like the Goodyear stuff and all that. And Tom goes to run across where the Porsches are coming down, and he's got time to do it. To be fair to him, and as he's going across in the middle of this, a fan comes up to him and says, "Tom, can I get a photo?" And Tom, being the nice guy he is, turns out to go, "Yeah, sure," and then goes to start taking a photo as this Porsche is slowly approaching behind him, but not like well, not slowly, but like if it hit him, it would hurt. So I've noticed this. I just see Tom start taking a photo of a fan of the Porsche just creeping up on him. I just shout, "Tom!" And then, no!
Get away!
Did he move?
Sorry, Anderson, something. But funniest thing I've had marshalling. But it's Tom Ingram for you, isn't it?
Aye.
Too nice of a guy.
And do you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what, Aaron? You're that young that you're going to have so many more great memories from doing all these different events.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully good ones.
Aye, I mean, like you were saying, was that your first touring cars?
First touring car me marshalling. Yeah.
Marshalling, and you've already had the
Hmm.
mick taken out you by Goodyear. You've had Tom Ingram ignoring you. Do you know? It can only get better.
Yeah.
Only
It's
get
funny.
worse.
The best
I
ones is
want
when
to go back. I want to go back to the L. Lloyd thing. Sorry to interrupt, but I want to go back to the L. Lloyd incident that you were talking about, Aaron, because I was involved in that. So there was a term one, which is toughest step, and I was on that post as a instant marshal. For that, usually when you're on a post with loads of marshals, you sort of take turns rotating who stands where.
Mhm.
So it was my turn to stand on the outside of the circuit on the spectator bank. From where you stand, you can see the Beatson's Bridge, you can see the lights on the gantry. You know what's happening. You hear the cars coming towards you. You hear some tires squealing. You hear some rubber rustling. No big deal. But then when you see the car upside down, different story.
Mm.
It was at that point where your brain switches on and you're like, right, go time. So you grab the fire extinguisher, you start running. The first thing I did was I looked up to the post. I looked up to the actual post on the inside of turn one. Nobody else grabbed the fire extinguisher. So I automatically go, okay, no one else has got one, so I'll take one. The problem with that is I was running up the hill with a fire extinguisher in my hand, and I'm not a big guy. I'll admit that I'm not a big guy. I'm not very strong, and fire extinguishers are bloody heavy. So I was hauling ass up this hill with a fire extinguisher. I got about halfway. I decided, no, screw this, it's too heavy. I flung it to the side and just kept running towards the car. And
Got to be
by
done.
the time I got, yeah, like by the time I got there, Elle was already out of the car talking to the medical team, and the guy in the JCB was already on site. So, was there even really point of me wasting my time running up the hill? Probably not, but it was at my post, so I needed to look like I was doing something.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I have
That's the
got
thing.
one. Sorry, I've got one more very short story actually from the Rallycross event that we just had at Knockhill. Well, not just had, but the tour bus. So a bit while ago now. I don't know names, but I know the basics of it. So we'd had juniors out on track, which is basically just a series for people like me, racing around Rallycross and that. And I'm talking to this driver before he goes out. I'm not sure what series he's in, I can't remember. But I'm talking to him and he says, "Oh, my son's racing this race." And I can't remember what his name was. I think it was Owen, his son's name was. And he turns to me and says, "Oh, yeah, my son's Owen. He's racing in the race now." And then as he tells me his son's name is Owen, all I hear is the Knockhill PA going on about, "Oh, Owen, whatever his last name was. Oh, he's flipped going down Duffus."
Oh,
And his engineer's just the next to me. And I just remember hearing this.
his dad's face must
looking
have
at
been a picture.
Yeah, the driver didn't hear. I turned to the driver and go, "Did you hear that?" And he went, "No." So I look at the engineer. He looks at me. I look back at the car and just sort of unanimously agree. You can tell him that. I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for him. No, he's just about to go on track and his son's flipped, and it's yeah.
You know what that means, Aaron? That means you're 2 for 2. So you were talking to Ella Lloyd's mum before she
Yeah.
crashed. You were talking to this guy Owen's dad before he crashed. So just don't talk to the relatives of drivers from now on.
Yeah, probably not the best idea, is it? Just stay away from the drivers. Who should I cast my bad luck on? You.
Aye.
Yeah. And then they and then they stop with me.
Yeah, and then they stop at you.
They talk to me and then they crash at Amber.
Yeah.
What a combination.
I know. Speaking of crashes, that takes us on to flagging.
Oh, yes. Flagging, my favourite.
Some people say
he's not being sarcastic there. He genuinely does love
I'm
flagging.
not being sarcastic. I love flagging.
Oh no, I'm the same. I'm exactly the same. That's why I chose that as my kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, me too.
I don't.
I see. I like it.
That's because you're lame. That's because you're lame.
I like it from
I'm
the
not
fact.
to.
Well,
You are
see,
actually
your time will come. Your time will come, and you better choose wisely.
I think the younger ones in the assembly area should be allowed to come on post and do flagging because they're not going onto a live track anyway. Do you know what I mean? And it gives them some great experience about it. But just letting the people know kind of what we do as flag is basically exactly the same as what the incident guys do in the morning. The only difference is we pick up at Knockhill anyway. We pick up a nice orange case with a light panel box in it and a nice orange bag with all the flags in it. So generally, when we get to post, why the track marshals and the IOs and the post chief are sorting out where they're going to be placing their fire extinguishers, who's going to be doing what role, we'll be getting more flags all set up. Usually with a safety cardboard round the wrong way, pointing us, so it's not facing the track. Opening up the flag bag and just making sure all the flags are there. So you're going to have, as a bare minimum, you're going to have 2 yellows, 1 green, 1 red, 1 blue, 1 white, 1 red and yellow stripy flag, also known as change of surface flag. And we also have, is it the 60 flag or is it the 65 flag? I think it's a 60 flag, isn't it?
Code 60.
Code 60, yeah. Which is
which we never use.
Never use it,
Yeah.
but it's essentially a virtual safety car type
I've
flag.
I've only ever seen a code 60 at the Nürburgring for the 24 hours.
24 hours, aye. And it's only between
That's the only time I
certain
ever
points,
see
isn't it?
Yeah, because like at Le Mans they use slow zones.
Mm.
But they don't do that anywhere else. They don't do code 60 anywhere else, at least as far as I'm aware.
I mean, I think we probably have them at Knockhill, and I don't know this because I didn't purchase them, but it was probably in the pack that they purchased when they purchased the flag packs. It probably just
Yeah,
came in the pack, which is why we have it.
yeah.
But there's a lot of controversy over flag marshalling. Now, I personally, I love the waving of the flags. Some people just like standing there pressing a button. I don't mind doing both. I would much rather be waving the flag. I can see where they're going with it because the light panels are so much brighter. Remember that, I mean, the last meeting we had at Knockhill was basically null and void anyway. But even if that fog
Hmm.
had have lifted, the light panels were going to show more than me waving, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
But I've been at circuits that have had power outages, and without a flag marshal with manual flags, the race couldn't have went ahead. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that happens at touring cars almost every year.
Apart
There's
from
always
last
something
year, it didn't
happens.
happen.
Like having the flags is always going to be necessary,
Yeah,
regardless of how frequently you're going to actually use them. You know, as long as they're there and can be used.
yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of things around the people think that flag marshals are lazy, right? Because something happens, you don't go out to it, right? But that's because you're still having to wave the double yellow flags for the recovery trucks that are coming, the rescue units that are coming, for any other drivers that are coming. But I don't know about yourself, Chris, but me personally, as soon as there is nothing on track, i.e., the red flag it, you'll do the red flag until the last motor's passed. I will then go and help with the incident.
Yes, depends on the event, right?
Hmm.
Because for like a TV event, like the touring cars or the F1 or the FP,
Hmm.
um, I've been in, well, I personally have been encouraged to wave the flag the entire time because it looks good for the camera.
Yeah,
But for like the Knock Hill Club meetings, then yeah, you're 100% right. You know, if there's no point in you waving the flag, put it
yeah,
down, go and help out.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, Chris is
But
spot on there. Aaron maybe doesn't have the experience of that yet, doing the big events, the bigger events. But everything on these weekends is generally done to a timetable for TV, whether it be Sky Sports or ITV or whatever. Everything's done to that.
mhm.
And everything has to, like you say, when there's a red flag, you'll see them. I've seen them at Vegas, and they're just standing there like that. You just wait for them to get a fang. Come on, honey. Do you know what I mean? But aye, it's all done for the TV. Definitely all done for the TV. But then the light panels as well, because I found this at Formula One. The second you press that yellow button on the panel, I know Silverstone panels are
Mhm.
slightly bigger than the ones we have at Knockhill. That comes up in your telly, yellow flag. So if you ever see it, it comes up yellow flag sector one, and then it disappears straight away. You've probably noticed that before. That's literally
Yeah.
somebody's went, oh, turned it off because they've hit it by mistake or something. But it does, it all feeds
So
in
right,
together.
so that's why the FIA are really picky
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
like when you put it out or not, because like that goes back to my point from my sort of story from earlier with the second Formula E incident. So
Hmm.
if you watch the highlights, I think it's race two. I think it's Jake Dennis. Jake Dennis ends up in the barrier, like straight into the barrier at turn one, turn two.
Hmm.
It's still inside the building, so it's like the sort of start of the lap. He ends up in the barrier. Front wheels are both broken, front wings all over the place. He crashes into a marshal post, more or less.
Hmm.
But the flag he still puts out a white flag,
Hmm.
even though the car's in a million pieces. It's not going anywhere. You know, it's like you can see it on the TV camera. It is visibly done.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere, and it needs to be recovered. But the flag marshal still puts out a white flag because he's had it drilled into his head that I don't know if it's the 10-second rule like that you were
Hmm.
saying, John, or if
Yeah.
it's just like instinct, like he puts out the white flag even though the car is visibly not going anywhere.
See, to be fair, if I see bits of bodywork flying off a car when it's hit something, the yellow flag comes out straight away without thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know for a fact you're waiting on the angel of the radio airwaves saying red flag, but you put the yellow out straight away anyway, because the sooner you put that out, the sooner the guys behind will know that something's happened around
Hmm.
Hmm.
whatever corner. Now, I've always been told, and it was the great Graham West that taught me flags. Used to be the chief flag marshal many moons ago before he took no well. And he always said the only flag you can get wrong is the red.
Yeah.
Aye, because
Yeah,
again,
like that's like a fundamental flag. Like if
yeah,
you throw that by mistake and the driver sees it, he's going to think, "Oh, I need to go back to the pits."
yep, foot off the gas, slow down. The guy behind him could smack right into him if he's no seen it, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
I can't say I've actually had any incidents as a flag marshal, to be honest with you. There's nothing that's nothing like that. It's
Do
all
you
when I
not
was.
accidentally dropped a flag on the driver's head like Chris did at Formula E? Or
I
almost
didn't
did?
do
What
that.
did
I,
you?
I
I was
almost
head.
did that. Right. So like there are certain posts that at the Formula E circuit. We'll go with it. So some of the like because it's basically a street circuit. So like the marshal post is just some catch fencing and a concrete block with a little window in it for the flag for the flagging point.
Mhm.
And some of the marshal posts are like, especially on the back straight, like before and after the double chicane. The flag point is also on the racing line, so
Mm.
the Formula E cars are flying right past your face. So when you're sticking your arm out, trying to wave the flag up and down, like it's not because the flags are also incredibly long for some reason. They're like it's like a broom handle. So you're
Mhm.
going up and down like that, just trying to give the signal. But the car is like, but your marshal post is basically the racing line.
Mhm.
Like it didn't happen this way, but there was always that thought in the back of my head that said, if I wave this hard enough, I'm going to hit something.
Didn't you almost hit poor Antonio Felix da Costa in the head?
I could have almost hit anybody with the way the post is. Like obviously I didn't. Like because I had that thought was in the back of my head the whole time. So like I sort of lifted my arm up a bit just to
Mhm.
basically guarantee that I wasn't going to hit somebody, but the thought was still there. It could have happened. We still haven't met properly. Is that not wild?
I
Yeah.
know.
I
Like
did find it kind of
you could
funny.
be in the same place at the same time and never meet each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
must admit, I have met Aaron, but remember the last meeting there, where
yeah.
we basically got fogged off. I went for a wee walk about the paddock and stuff, and ended up going into the paddock, into the assembly. And you were talking to Finn, weren't you?
Then yeah, because I mind he was on his TikTok saying about how it's postponed and that stuff. I said, well, if you're bored, come talk to me. I'm at the
Aye.
assembly. So I started talking to him, and then you turned up. I was like, oh, you're the marshal fellow on TikTok, aren't you? So talking to you, and then Amber turns up as well, and I'm like, you're Amber and Orange. It's just like the whole TikTok group, and I'm not TikTok yet. I'm like, this is a sign, maybe I should go for that. Why not? Yeah, quite funny. I do find it funny as well. I ran over one of your TikToks, Amber. I think it was like the May meet. You were at post 10, I want to say. The video
Ah,
was on
yes.
for the Red Walk. And I was in assembly, and I remember that crash. I'm assuming you had to deal with that one, the Legends one. Or was that
Yes.
different? Yeah. So again, another one you attracted. But I do find it quite funny that like, we're maybe 100 meters away there.
Yeah.
And no, we're all meeting on podcasts and this, and it's funny,
Crazy.
isn't it? Yeah.
But you've been telling your friends at school?
Of course he has.
Well, I actually I'll put it on topic today. I went into school today, and recently, like everybody from school from my TikTok. So I knew I'm either going to go in and get the absolute mick ripped out of me, or I'm going to go in and everyone's going to like it. And it's been a bit 50-50. Some people take the mick out of it, some people like it. But overall, I don't really care. I'm having a bit of fun on it, so why not?
That's it. That's what it's for.
Oh,
That's
it's
what
not
it's
about
for.
it's not about what everyone else thinks.
Yep.
Really, is it?
No,
I don't know. I'm the odd one out here. I don't create content. I just consume it.
So
There's a man who's not on TikTok.
you're not on TikTok, Chris?
No, I'm not.
Just consume it.
I'm on Instagram. If you guys post your stuff there.
Ah, there is an Instagram set up, but I've not had like many. I know Instagram's more picturey stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, you can transfer your reels, your TikToks over there and have them as the short form video.
Ah, right, okay. That sounds like a better plan. Sounds like a better plan. Amber, Chris, any of you ever done IO?
Yes.
What's IO?
Incident
Incident
officer.
Incident officer.
Oh, incident officer, right?
So could one of you
Officer.
explain the role of an incident officer for us?
Well, they are typically the first person on scene and get all the TV attention and the praise and the thanks from the drivers and all that jazz. They are mostly responsible for the safety of themselves, their teammates, the driver, and also deciding how best to recover the car or cars. And typically has the most contact with the driver during an incident. They are 18 plus by law. It's not a Motorsport UK thing, it's by law. It is probably one of the most dangerous roles you can do, but it's extremely rewarding.
Yeah, because sometimes you could be running down towards a car and the cars are still hurling it around the track as fast as they can go.
Exactly.
Is there any prerequisite in the law? Is there a section of the law that says you must be able to run from post 4 to post 3 in under 20 seconds? Because the wee guy that's on post 4 is like a whippet. He can get down to post 3 within seconds. I don't know how he does it.
I don't think so. I think it's just
I can't do that.
Wee JK.
It sounds like
a bit nippy. Try me on that.
I don't want to put his name out there for everyone, but wee JK. We whip it, man. I think he's been in rescue quite a bit. The last
year. I know.
Yes.
On yourself, big man.
Aye,
big chugger.
Yeah, he can get from post 4 to post 3 in about 15, 20 seconds.
It's because he's so
that's
short.
Quite impressive at his extended age as well.
Extended age.
Extended.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. It's because he's so short. He is very aerodynamic.
he's got a great power to weight ratio.
That's true.
Oh, bless him. But I think just talking about what you said, I think there's no legal requisite for how fast you can get to an incident. It's just as long as you are in decent health, can run. I think it's something like, what was it? Because Formula E had certain regulations around being an instant marshal. Do you remember them, Chris?
No.
Anyway,
the only regulations I know of, like time limit, are for rescue and or recovery. That like they need to be on site within 60 seconds of being called for. Is that right?
Something like that. I think Formula. There we go. It was you have to be able to run. I think 100 meters in. I think it was something like 20 seconds, maybe more than that, and you have to be able to lift at least 30 kilograms. I think it was just the weight of a fire extinguisher or something like that.
I don't remember seeing any of this, but
I think I delved into the regulations when I first went down, not last year before. So that's why I spent time in the gym, because I knew you were going to be a flag marshal. I knew I was going to be an incident marshal, so I just ended up going in the gym and getting swole. Not very swole now, but
do you think that the IOs have more responsibilities than the post chiefs?
It depends on the situation.
Yes and no, right? Because the post chief is obviously the line of communication between the post, race control, and all the other posts, right? Mm-hmm. So that is a lot of responsibility in and of itself.
Yep.
But at the same time, if there is a big incident, the IO is typically the first person on scene. He's there to assess the situation and discuss, well, not discuss, but like formulate a plan of how to recover it in like the quickest and most efficient way.
Mm-hmm. Typically, sorry, Chris, and typically will be the one to throw up the doctor or medical team signs if needed.
Yeah.
So like the IO is will communicate with the PC, and then the PC will communicate to race control, where he basically he's like the relay, right? So the IO, say there's two cars in the gravel at turn 3 at Knockhill, which is usually the case. If they're just stuck and they both need towed, the IO will do the hand signal to the PC. The PC will relay it back, and then PC will be like, "I need 2 straight tows at turn 3, please." Mm. But then if it's, say, like there's damage to the car and he's lifted, he'll call for the lift with the lift. So it's, I don't know if it's like there's more responsibility one way or the other.
But I suppose
It's
the
like a
bucks.
shared.
It's kind of like at work, isn't it? The buck has to stop with somebody. So
Yeah.
maybe the post chief is there as the buck stops with them.
The
I mean,
post chief,
I've only ever post chiefed on. I know why they've done it because they're nice and quiet. Post 8, post 10, and post 1.
Those
Uh,
are the
and
ones.
and luckily enough, I've had great teams in every single one of them. So you're not having to overlook and oversee that the flags are correct. You're not having to overlook and oversee that your IO's doing the job that they're meant to do. They've all been fantastic at what they do. And I literally could, not that I did, but you could if you wanted to, literally sit back in a chair and sit there and just put your feet up.
Yeah. John, I've actually got a bit of a question about Post One. A little bit
Yes.
off topic, but I was watching back 2017 Singapore Grand Prix the other day, and it showed us the clip of you how an F1 you get like the guy press the button to make the lights go out and all that. Do you have that in Post One, or is that automated?
Yes, there is a box in post 1 which is set up for the start finish lights, but it is not the marshalling team on post 1 that start the cars. There will be a clerk of the course or a deputy clerk of the course will come down from race control and they will start each race.
All
So for Legends, for example, what's his name? Mark Laybourne. He's on TikTok and Facebook and stuff. He's a deputy clerk of the course type person. And he'll come down, but they've already discussed this up in race control on the Legends at the start point. So they come up, it's a rolling start for them, and they just turn the lights off. He'll say, "You know yourselves, guys, on the start finish line. There's numbers on the hoarding on the way down, and they'll maybe race 1. They're going to start them at number 4, and then the last race they're going to start them at number 1. But yeah, there's always somebody comes down from race control, clerk of the course or deputy clerk of the course, and they will do the start light sequence, whether it be for a static start or a rolling start. It's not down to the start finish line team. It's not down to post 1, which is technically 2 separate teams. Although we will help the guys in start finish line if needed, and they will help us if needed. But it's technically 2 separate posts as such.
Right.
Post 1, start finish line. But yeah, sorry.
So what did the start line and finish line marshals actually do then?
So the start line marshals are responsible for that stupid noise thing that you hear for 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, that type of stuff. They are also in charge of the last lap board, any penalties that have to go out. So they're the ones that show the black and white flag with the numbers for the penalties.
Meatball as well.
What's that?
Meatball as well, I'd imagine.
Yes, that one as well. They're split into a team of 2. There'll be 2 sets of people on the start finish line. One set will be up at post 1, and the other one will be down at the wee hut on their own, and they're doing timings. So they're making sure that the timings are all correct. Who's in first place? What positions everybody's in? You'll see them writing it down every time the cars go past. They'll write down who's in first, second, third, fourth. It's quite a demand. I wouldn't want to do it. I would get mixed up completely. It's not something I would want to do, not unless I wanted to just really sit on my backside all day and do nothing, because there's no incidents for them to do. If something breaks down at the pit entry, they can't come out of the booth and help because they're having to check what's happening in the actual race.
When I was on post 1, the only time I've been on post 1, it was the weekend that we had the supercarts. Not last year before, I think it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And there was
not last year.
24. It was 24.
Yeah, and there was a car that I can't remember what it was. I think it was one of our championships, so it'll be. I think it was in fact Fiesta. It was a certain championship winning Fiesta, Mr. Hendry. Feel free to bleep the name, John.
I'm bleeping nothing this time.
And anyway, it was raining, if I remember correctly. And yes, it was, because we had all the sort of windows shut in post 1, and just literally just stuck the flag out, waved it, if needed. And we had a Mr. Hendry come off into the grass, couldn't get it started again because it was obviously wet, disgusting, horrible. So I, as the IO that weekend, didn't see anyone from post 2 or post 3, sorry, come down. So me, I think it was that Gazman Marshall and our post chief and I think one other, I can't remember who, bolted down the pit lane as well as some pit lane marshals. We had Richard and we had a couple others come down to help with this car. And by the time we got there, post 3 had managed to get there, and their post chief, which I think was good old Roddards, had already called it in on the radio. So we were like, why did I have to run down all this way if you were just going to deal with it? And so, yeah, we had that. The driver was fine. We called for recovery. All was good. And then we had to make that walk back up. And it was not fun. I remember getting halfway up between the post and where I was in the pits, halfway up, and then all I hear on the radio is green flag. Shit. So I bolted back up to post 1. And literally just as I took one step into the post, I had a Fiesta fly past me, clearly breaking the pit speed limit. I'm like, if I had just waited an extra second or half a second, I would have been dead. I would have been knocked over.
Yeah.
But is there a way to monitor the pit lane speed limit at Knockhill? Do they have sensors for that?
They don't have.
Yes.
They don't have particular sensors. They have. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but
I think it's speed cameras because I've seen.
No, he's got a handheld one. He's got a handheld one that he walks about with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's Richard.
So theoretically, could you not just speed all the way down the pit lane and then just slow down right for the speed gun?
No, because it's random. What we'll do is sometimes we'll stand in the middle of the pit lane and he'll hold the gun down there, wait for you to go past, and then hold it going that way.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
Touring cars, the big events, BSB touring cars, they do have, but it's in touring cars, it's Toka that bring it. You'll notice that touring cars there's extra sensors everywhere. Because you'll also notice that touring cars, when they come into the pits, there's 2 quick fit boxes, and apparently they read barcodes on something, so they know exactly who's come in and all that kind of stuff.
I think it's on the tires, because I've seen on the Goodyear tires that they have little barcodes on them, so it might be that.
Yeah, could be.
Because if they're sort of low down to the ground, then that's really the only thing that it could be scanning is the tires.
Depends unless it's on the angle the camera's at.
I guess so, yeah.
There is one real bad thing about post chiefing, and that's the fact if you have an incident at your post, dealing with the incident is fine. That's what we're trained to do. It's having to sit down and write it all down.
Oh God! Tell us about the joys of post chief reports.
It's those dreaded words, John. It's those dreaded words, isn't it? Can you get a written on that, please?
Yeah. And sometimes she'll add on at the end with a nice, lovely picture as well. You got to try.
There was a lot of that. There was a lot of those on the Saturday of the last meeting, wasn't there?
Yeah,
because it just seemed to
all done by post 4. All done by post 4.
It seemed to all kick off. I don't know what he did that day to deserve all of those early Christmas presents, but
Amber, do you know if there's anything in the pipeline to make a digital version? So if somebody is willing to. But it's only if you're willing, because it's going to be a personal phone, obviously, if you're willing to download something or use your own data to make it easier.
There was Ben Seaton, who is...
Oh, the army fella.
He's in the army. Yeah, army fella. God bless you, Ben. He has got digital versions of it, and he sat down, did absolutely everything, got it to a viable working document, and I believe it is still with Motorsport UK to get checked over and developed a little bit more. So it's a case of just waiting for Motorsport UK effectively.
But would that then turn it into kind of like you say? I mean, when you go on holiday or if you go to an airport, you see all these influencers, as they like to call themselves, walking about with phones in the airport. Is it going to turn a racetrack into that at an instant?
No, I would say.
Okay.
Because it would only be the post chief that would be allowed to fill it out. And
it's still a document, is it not? Like instead of like writing it on a sheet of paper, you're writing it on your phone or a tablet.
Yeah, but I
So
think for
you
it to
can
be
just email
used,
it or whatever to the.
I think for it to be used in an official capacity, they'd have to have some sort of security or encryption there,
Yeah.
which I think
Something
is
like
probably why
that.
it's still sitting with Motorsport UK.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we have digital post-chief reports for touring cars this year? I
It possibly
vaguely
could have been.
remember something
Could have
like
been.
that. I vaguely remember something like that, although I could just be getting it confused because there's now a QR code in the back of the Post Chiefs pack that lets people sign up to be a marshal, so I could be
Yeah,
getting it confused with that.
you get them on the
So,
clipboards as well. Assembly, you
yeah.
get the clipboard, all the grids and that. If you look on the back of it, you got a little QR code, which I think is brilliant. Great idea for it.
You ever had anyone
Oh, yeah.
come into assembly and sign up to be a marshal?
Not yet. If you
No.
want to be a marshal, then you know where to come. Come to me so I can claim that I made you a marshal. Yeah, number one, put on my card.
Just so you can get the bragging rights.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, of course. Why otherwise?
I mean, I know SMRC do have a recruitment team as well now, don't they? That got brought in
Yes.
last year. Was it last year, the year before they brought that in?
Mm-hmm.
Last year was the lovely Alan Gordon.
That's the one.
Yeah, and they've done a great job. They've done a great
yeah.
job because they I don't know if it was a record number of new marshals this year, but it was
Yeah.
a high
Yes.
number.
Was it
Yeah,
30,
It was a high
13 new marshals came in? Is that right?
Something like that.
And there was
It was
more than that
best.
with people that had for taster days and
Yeah.
maybe didn't come
Yeah.
back, but actual new people through the door was a lot
Yeah.
of people.
I think
Did a
there were
cracking
at
job.
least 4 new people in assembly, including me, which still feels a bit odd. I mean, I think I know so much about Marshall, and I've only been doing it for a year, so.
If I remember
crazy
correctly, we had a record number of young people, or a new record number of young people and a record number of women joining.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, sorry to say this, Aaron, but there is a racial respect and everything, but there is a kind of nickname for assembly at the moment.
Oh, I want to hear this.
The creche.
The crash?
The
What's
creche.
behind this?
Well, it's just a shorter way of saying the nursery for all the young ones for the adults to look after.
I mean,
The daycare centre.
I mean, I think there's, off the top of my head, on a normal weekend, you've got me, about 4 of us at minimum. Because I remember I'm not going to say his name, not to embarrass him, but it's one of the boys we've got an assembly. He's my age as well, so we get on really well.
Good.
I had a car come down early for a session. I didn't expect him, and he goes running down backwards down assembly to make sure he's at the right spot at the front of the line. And as he's going down, he trips and just rolls backwards down the assembly area. Luckily, far enough away from the car, but the car driver parks himself up, and I go up to him, and I lean in, and what I just hear is just him absolutely cackling in the driver's seat. He was completely fine. It was brilliant. I'll never let him forget it.
Excellent, mate.
Fair.
Sorry, guys, but we're currently running out of time for this podcast because we've went way over on what we thought we were going to do. So I know. But I want to take this opportunity to say thanks to Chris for joining us on this podcast. Much appreciated, mate. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And if anyone listening is up at Knockhill, just look out for Chris. I'm sure if you go and say hello, he will say hello back.
Maybe I'll think about it.
Maybe. Brilliant. But remember, this podcast, you can listen to it on Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, everywhere else that you may listen to your podcasts. You can also listen to it on the website. It does get uploaded it goes live on the website as well. That is fromthebanking.co.uk, where you can also find out details about how to become a sponsor of the podcast if you can sponsor the podcast. There's details in there on how to do that. And if you'd also like to be a guest on a future podcast, all the details are on there as well. Just go to the contacts page. Thank you all again for listening in, and thank you to my lovely hosts, Amber and the Cadet Marshal, and thank you very much, Chris, for joining in today. It's been amazing. Thank you very much. That's it from me.
That's sadly it from me.
Yeah, that's it from me as well.
And thank you all again. See you all again next time. Thanking you.